Hey yo, it's Daeni and welcome back to the channel. Today's a different kind of video, but still kind of the same. I just want to get right into it. We picked up the Glock 19, brand new. We already know what comes in the box, so I'm not gonna bore you with the unboxing. But we do have our Glock, clear, double clear, and nothing in the magazine. The special about this Glock is that MOS. Now, I don't know how new this is because that's irrelevant to this video. It's new to me and that's all that matters. Now, I'm not normally a fan of Glock firearms, so I'm not even gonna hold you. I do have Glocks, but I just prefer to carry Smith & Wesson. But it didn't work out this year. Normally for winter, I normally change my firearm around daylight savings time. So when the sun isn't as long or the nights are longer than the day, you get a bigger firearm because a lot of things can happen at night. That's just my theory. I didn't pick up my Smith & Wesson 9. Let's just make sure it's clear. Yep. I didn't pick up my Smith & Wesson MMP 9.0 or whatever with the armor cut, but I ended up picking up this right here. So this is a later date. Real interesting. I thought about trying to carry this, but I don't think it's gonna work. But back to what we originally came here for, is for this Glock 19 now. Now, the cool thing about this is that when I was doing my research, they had a site specifically made for this, and I don't have to put the plate, like these plates on it, because I didn't want to raise the RMR or the red dot higher than the iron sights, and I didn't want to get like suppressor iron sights, or at least I want to be able to carry a red dot on it and keep the stock iron sights. But there's a journey now for this that I want to just share with you, and comment below and tell me what you think. I'm just asking your advice in this order, but it can change. I want to get the red dot, right? I want to get the red dot, then I want to get the light, then I want to get the holster for the whole firearm, and then I want to upgrade the trigger, and then I want to upgrade the barrel. Kind of want to get the stimpling for the grip, and then trigger, then the barrel. But for the last three, it don't have to be in that order. Whichever comes first. If I get a good deal on either one or either any of them before the other one, I'll probably go that direction. But the priority I want to get is the red dot. I want to get the light, and then I want to get the stimpling, because you know those are the key features to this particular firearm. Now, historically, you know that I'm not one to really promote any particular brand, but let's face it, red dots are like the new thing. Having a firearm that doesn't or isn't optics ready is like driving a car without a backup camera, or that's not push to start. It's cool, you know, I have it, but you know, times is changing and it's more convenient and it's easier to get what you need to get done, eyes on target, with your EDC with the RMR. So if you're new to the gun game and you're like, well, what do I get? Normally I say Glock. Well, even though I say Glock, even though I don't really like to carry them, because that platform is just all around a better platform. If you're new to the gun game, you ain't got to really look too long or too hard for something. And you know, you could get better deals on Glock accessories because it's just such a big platform and so many. It's like the iPhone of firearms. I mean, literally everyone has a Glock. So that's my little advice that I'm giving to you. In return, I'm hoping that in the comments below you can drop some advice on the best red dot, best flashlight, trigger, stimpling, and you know, trigger, barrel, etc., the whole shebang. You know, because again, I don't normally like try to customize my firearms. I feel like Smith & Wesson kind of gives you a good package at the box, sort of like the Android of the gun community. As soon as you get a Smith & Wesson, you're probably going to have everything you need on it. I did my EDC for summer, and my last winter EDC was definitely a Smith & Wesson, and we've been using we've been using the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus for the summer. It's a pretty reliable firearm for me. Nothing's been changed on it. There is something that I would change, and I didn't really talk about this, but since we're here, real quick, the trigger sucks. I know a lot of people love this trigger, but unlike the old trigger where it had that little circle and you could kind of put your hands anywhere and it would guide it to the brake or the two-step trigger release, whatever you want to call it, this one's not as forgiving. I don't know if it's my firearm, but it's like it's a little sticky and it's just too easy for the trigger to stick. Okay, you got to kind of hug the trigger guard to get a consistent. That's fine and all, but like if you're just coming in and you don't really know what you're doing, it tends to be a little bit, it gets caught up. This piece tends to get caught up. I gotta do it like this. This piece tends to get caught up because you're not really activating that trigger piece enough. But it also has the RMR. It's a subcompact. It's great for summer because it's easier to conceal and you can wear lighter clothes. So Big fan of the Smith & Wesson Shield Plus, and the magazine is double stacked. But now winter's coming around, and you know, it's around that time. The last time I upgraded my winter EDC was about 2 years ago. So this year I figured I'm gonna try the Glock and make it really different. I mean, obviously I'm gonna get the RMR, but I'm gonna add a flashlight as those nights are longer. And the trigger's good, so it's not a rush, and so is the barrel. We're gonna have our shots, our first shots, coming up real soon. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe. And my real breakdown of a Glock. But I mean, I genuinely know how it's gonna go. But as these upgrades are being added, I just want to tell you the difference it makes for the firearm and why you should probably want to consider upgrading your firearm to something that's more relevant and more modern with the RMR and the trigger upgrades and the flashlights, of course. I had an Olight for my last winter carry, but you know, I have nothing against Olight, but I want to explore other. I want to see what competition is out there and what works best for like my particular situation. Again, the nights are getting a lot longer, you know, so you know, I want to actually be able to effectively use my firearm in a self-defense scenario if need be. So that's why we are here. That's all I have for you. I don't want to hold you up too long. Remember to drop your advice in the comments down below. Be careful, be legal. Thank you again for watching. Hit that subscribe. 1.